What's going on, everyone? It's Tuesday, free day for me, so I decided to go ahead and move forward with plans to do another upgrade on the board, and we'll call this version 4. So this one's going to be focusing on upgrading from the one power supply, the one spot, to a actual power brick. And this is something I wasn't going to do for quite some time, but I have one or two more pedals that I want to add that are individual pedals to the board, and before I can do anything else, I really need to upgrade the power supply to do that. So what I did is I did some research on a power brick. I went ahead and made out some blueprints, so when I get back to my house, I can go ahead and start rewiring the board and moving some cables around, as well as some pedals. So I wanted to show you guys that plan, and as well show you out a power consumption chart that was made by somebody else, and I just tweaked a bit for myself. So let's switch over to the computer and check those out. Alright guys, so let's kick this off talking about the draw power chart. Now Matt Lefevre, he's also a YouTuber, and he has a ton of great videos out there if you haven't seen his videos about equipment and guitars and all this other stuff. So one of the videos I came across while researching power supplies was this power draw chart that he created. And I just went ahead and tweaked it a little bit with a whole bunch of nerd formulas, like I said. And so for example, if I switch this port 1 to on, what that does is changes the DC voltage and the power available on that port. So I also created a chart for the one spot power supply, and this is what I'm currently working with right now. The Line 6 G30, I have two separate individual pedals and then two LED strips, 17 LEDs drawing about 10 milliamps per light. The great thing about the one spot power supply is that it has about a 1700 milliamp draw combined, so however long the daisy chains are is what you can combine. The problem with that is that I am noticing a lot of ridiculous noise going through the sub and up, and I'm able to squash a lot of that with noise gates, but it is noticeable, and I have a very small impedance between cables, so I know it's not that much of an issue with the cables. Moving over to the Voodoo, what I wanted to see is what I would have available and isolated. So moving over to the Voodoo, I can have the sub and up and the Polytune on individual ports. The G30 will have to go to port 5 because it has a 250 milliamp draw. Looking through forums, I read a lot of people saying that the supplied adapter has about a 500 milliamp draw. However, the pedal itself only needs about 252. So I'm going to go ahead and throw that on this one port and be done with that. The LED strips, I'm going to try to merge them on one port or just give them both their each port just for now. And then the helix will go on the courtesy ICE connector that is supplied on the pedal. So let's go ahead and take a look at my pedal board. So this is what we're working with. Moving around wise, I'm going to have the sub and up move up because when I have the snapshots on, if I'm using it that whole gig, I'm going to go ahead and turn the pedal on to be done with it. And I really would like this available spot for another pedal. Switching over to the back, kind of got a little crazy between switching from the Firehawk over to the Helix and moving cables around. And this whole kind of rat's nest is what I'm trying to avoid, even though it's nicely tied up and spaced out. It's kind of a cluster. So what I have here is a power supply harness. I have ICE coming into the harness that lights the indicator light, the switch, and that also goes out to a Deutsch connector. The Deutsch connector, I have a separate cable that will allow me to power a power brick via IEC. So I will get rid of this separate harness. I'll go ahead and power the brick, and then I will feed power into the board. Now I went ahead and pre-drawn out my plan, and this is what I'm kind of looking at. I'm going to get rid of the extension cord here that is powered through the Deutsch connector. I'm going to have the power supply feed in the middle, and this is for a reason. The Helix is going to feed in to the courtesy port. The ICE cable will feed in and power the Voodoo. From this point, I'm going to rearrange my cables, and my effects loop and my guitar send will be routed to the bottom of the board, and my power cables will be now routed through the side over here, and making it a lot cleaner, a lot more grouped that I would like to see. So that is the plan for right now. I'm slowly getting brackets and the power supply and get everything ordered for that. But when I switch over and go to upgrade the board, I'm going to do snapshot videos and walkthroughs for those who are interested. Keep your eye out for that in a couple weeks. Other than that, if you have any questions, post them below. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the reminder bell. See you guys. Thanks.